In fact, we are each of us between two worlds. The material world, being on the planet Earth, and the spiritual world that is a part of us that is timeless, that knows what unity is like at the deep level. And really, the spiritual path is learning to love each and both of those realities. So I'm Brian. I'm in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, in the U.S. And I've been feeling surprisingly good for a couple days. And I noticed there's a part of me that wants to figure it out so I can control it and keep it, right? Like, I don't want to give it up. Yet I'm also aware of the hopelessness of, trying to control the ins and outs and the ups and downs of life. And what I wanted to share today is that we don't need to know what is happening or where it is all going. All we're called to do is turn to the possibilities in the challenges offered by the present moment and embrace them with courage, faith, and with that faith, hope. The human experience works when we bring all the parts of it together. When we understand that trying to avoid pain is what creates suffering. And trying to hold on to pleasure is what keeps suffering going. Alan Watts says, trying to define yourself is like trying to bite your own teeth. We're doing the opposite here together. Letting go of a lifetime of self-definitions. To become, as humans, the free spirits we are, as souls. And we're wanting to use the mind instead of it using us. On this path, we know that healing and hurting coexist. Where we stumble, there lies our treasure. We can completely trust whatever is happening, not because of any result in our favor, but because whatever is happening is the solid ground. So even if the news is bracing and rattles us to our core, turning to it instead of away is solid footing. We want to uncover where we're defining ourselves with our thoughts, letting all that go, and connect with the freedom underneath our thinking. The heaviest load is what goes on in our head. We are not at the mercy of the world, even though we can never control it. We are at the mercy of our unforgiving mind. Our mind left unattended makes prisons. Yet when we use the mind in service of the real self, it also gives us keys to get out of that prison. We say often here that everything we're wanting is already here. There's nothing to find or get. What does this apparent riddle really mean? If it's already here, where is it? I've pondered this a great deal. And what I've come to see is we're raised and trained from our earliest moments in meritocracy, the belief we have to earn happiness, and also psychic materialism, that happiness is something we have to get. This is our primary illusion, that peace, joy, fulfillment are out there instead of inside of us, independent of whatever is going on around us. So any place we turn away from what we want to avoid is what keeps us disconnected from our essence that is self-generating, self-augmenting, self-fulfilling. Pema reminds us that healing can be found in the tenderness of the pain itself. Especially these days, be watchful for overwhelm, hopelessness, fear, despair. Any one of these can cut us off at the heart. The very place that is our sanctuary. Fear is what fills the space. When we run from our emotions, don't look at the thoughts our emotions are slaves to, and that we become slaves to. It's not what we say out of our mouth that determines our life. It's what we whisper to ourselves that has the most power. We're here to feel the courage to face that unforgiving whisperer and reclaim our own direct experience of life. Our pain body is rhetorical, not factual. What does this mean? It's very good at giving speeches. It's very good at being a know-it-all. And yet what it says most often is not true. You just look for where your mind does this without embarrassment or shame or guilt. This is just what the pain body does. So here's the nucleus of what I'm wanting to share with you today, which is around this fascinating understanding in the pathwork of half-truths. Because the part of our suffering that we create comes into view where we can choose to release it when we start to see the illusion in a half-truth that is more damaging than an outright lie. What makes a half-truth so damaging? Well, part of it is true. Yet part of it is something else, with an agenda from the unforgiving mind that will bend anything to suit itself, no matter how it makes us suffer. So let's look at some examples of half-truths, and then we'll share with each other some that we're aware of ourselves. So here's one. I know this behavior pattern is hurting me, and I'm still doing it. This is true. What's not true is that it means I'm weak or unable to free myself. The truth is, I can get closer each time I ride its merry-go-round. Another one is, some of us can relate to, I've never been this old. Yet we overlook, right now, I'm the youngest I'll ever be. We're all going to die anyway, okay? And we're alive now. How can I tell a half-truth? By how it leaves me feeling. If it's not loving, it's not the truth. If I don't feel calmed and encouraged, it's not the truth. Truth is actually not a statement of fact. Truth is an experience of openness. Truth is an experience of our true nature. And wisdom comes from the mental and emotional freedom to see what's actually going on instead of what our fear and defenses insist. Remember, the mind is always making up excuses to avoid its own responsibility.